Hi, everyone. It's Josie here. So a little bit about me. I originally come from the Philippines. I arrived here 40 years ago to study nursing, and that was my dream. I wanted to be a nurse, and then I stumbled into aged care management for 17 years. I work as a director of nursing, and I married my job. Has anyone here experienced that? Marry your job, and that's where I spend 50, 70 hours of my time,
Wow.
sometimes 7 days a week. And when you're passionate about your job, and I guess it's required as well because of the amount of work that I had to do. Then I was blessed with two kids at the age of 40 and 43. And then at 46, I was on the floor, completely burnt out. I had this amazing job. I had all the perks of management, and I decided to quit my job with no plans in place. But I always believe that things happen because we're meant to be in another space at another time. And so then I had breast cancer a year later. I brought nurses over here from the Philippines. And in 2009, a couple came to my house and they showed me a business and some supplements. I was interested in the supplements because of my previous health problem. But they took me to a couple of meetings, and I met the top leaders here in Australia in that company. And they were Chinese, could hardly speak English. And I thought, wow, if they could make it work, maybe I can as well. And so the next day I made the decision. And I think the key is you make a decision. So I made a decision to do the business. And so no training. I just picked up the phone. I started calling people. And that's how I started my business. So I've been with LifeVantage for 2 years now. And so in my 12 years in network marketing, I have invested in a lot of programs because I was hungry to learn. I wanted to understand what the leaders are doing to make it work. But what I discovered in my 12 years is that those things that I was looking for really come down to just the basics. It all boils down to what is the job description of a network marketer. So $1 million earner, what they do, probably a little bit different because they have a lot of teams, but how they started and how they got to where they are, we're doing the basics, doing the mundane that you and I need to do every single day. So I've just made some notes here based on what Talita wanted me to cover. So I'd say that how I became successful in network marketing, and I can tell you that I had to replace my income when I was working as a director of nursing, and I needed to make it work. So number one is that I knew my why. I didn't want to go back to work. Like I've had it. I was down on the floor, completely burnt out, and I wanted to make it work. So I didn't have to go back to a job. So that was initially my why, was I did not want to go back to a job. So I was fighting, and I just went out there and made it happen. And so then, of course, along the way, things have evolved. As the years went by, I knew that the most important for me are my kids. God has given them to me late in life, but I've missed out on when they first walk and talk and all of that. And I knew that I wanted them to be part of the journey that I was going through, to travel with me, to meet people, and really be influenced by the positive people around me. So my why was more about giving my kids the best experiences that network marketing can offer. Because, it's just like if I had a job, I don't know what they will learn from that. I think they learned that you have to work hard, because that's exactly what I did. But what they learn in my journey here in network marketing is that you work hard, not just for yourself. And as you know that, we pour into people. It's really that being able to help people, because we know that when we help a lot of people, what happens is that then we become successful. And so have a clarity of your why. And I was talking to like a mastermind in our team. So we have in our team, my upline is a Master Pro 10. And so she has this Legends Mastermind. And so I did the coaching there last week. And I said to them, when I joined LifeVantage, I went through like this I had a huge success. because I came from another network marketing company. And when I left, people were negative and all of that. And I knew that I wanted to stay focused to do the job and made it happen. And so here I am, Elite Per 7 in my second month, #1 influencer in the whole of company. And then my life went upside down. My daughter went through massive depression and anxiety, and I was sucked into that vortex of just really feeling depressed myself, and just doing the do without telling people what I was going through. So I was going through this terrible emotional pit, and I was still showing up. I was still training for my team, but I stopped recruiting. Then I met then I learned that the Martin Wallace, who's now the fastest growing team in the whole of Australia, joined LifeVantage. So she and I were in a mastermind together. And so we had a chat and everything, and I told her what I was going through. And so we went through this clarity exercise. Okay. And so I knew what my why was, and that's why I was doing what I was doing. But then here I was in the vortex of everything that was happening, and I was literally like, I couldn't crawl out of the hole that I was in. And so this exercise really has allowed me to go back to finding my next why, that clarity. And so I'm so glad that she took me through this exercise, because there are 3 things in that exercise that I asked myself. I mean, it's similar to what I've learned from Tony Robbins, but it is in that exercise. And I emphasized this to the leaders last week, that there are 3 things that really helped me to reflect and really put in pen and paper this finding where I am and where I need to be at this point in time. So first, which I think is a good reflection to go through this year before the end of the year, is #1, what does an extraordinary life and an extraordinary business look like to you? So this is kind of your future. It's probably your why. What does that look like to you? So this whole exercise has taken me like 6 weeks to make it happen, because as you reflect on this, you'll probably have a lot of emotions, because your why is probably bigger than what you think it is, but you just don't have that clarity. But if you put in pen, what does an extraordinary life look like to you? Your family, your spiritual life, your community, whatever it is that you want to include. And then what does an extraordinary business look like? So it's not just, I want to be a Elite Pro 7 and earn $100,000, but it's bigger than that. The second question that you can ask yourself is, if this is the extraordinary life and business that I want, why don't I have it yet? And I think that question, when you think like, why don't I have it yet? Why is it that I want to have a lot more self-care, I want to do this, I want to have a lot more time, but why is it that I don't have it? Simply because I was cluttering my life with so much distraction, where people are saying, can you do, what is this, what is that, this and that, and this and that. So instead of me making myself a priority and knowing exactly how I want to design my day, I want to design my week, sometimes it gets dictated by people around me. So I needed to put it in a journal, that clarity of, what would it look like and why don't I have it yet? And so have a look at what are those reasons why you don't have it yet. Because I know nobody has arrived. None, I don't think anyone in the world would say they have arrived. People in their deathbed probably wish that they would have done something else. But I think that awareness will really help you a lot. And the third that you can ask yourself, which really has helped me, is what needs to change? What needs to shift? And what you need to do? So if that is the extraordinary life that you want, what is it that you need to do? And what is it that you need to shift? So those 3 questions really, I think that would help you have a lot more clarity so that your why and your vision of the life and the business that you want in 2022 is a lot clearer. So that's number 1. The second is that you need to understand and focus on your business just on the foundational rank. That's how I built my business to be the number 1 influencer. That's how I'm building my business in the Philippines, create the first elite in the Philippines. It's just because if I'm focusing them to get to Pro 5 and 7 and all of that, but instead I, what was the right word? So it's kind of, I'm not brainwashed, but it's more about letting them know, I've emphasized to them that this is the rank. Number 1, you need to understand, to understand the mechanics, you understand how to get there, and you need to sell it to the new people and have that sense of urgency. And so what we do is we say to them, you obviously have your onboarding, but I say to them, the first rank that we focus on, I know there's Pro 1, Pro 2, but the major rank that I want you to just focus on now is Pro 3. And so why Pro 3? Because then we have the Pro 3 conference. It opens up some of the bonuses, like potentially you could be entitled to launch bonus, but opens up that opportunity for the Gen Match bonus. So that is how we have really grown a lot, is that we just focus on the fundamental rank, which is our Pro 3. The third is you need to own the process. It's your business, right? You have, it's your 100% responsibility. My business is my 100% responsibility. It's not Tara, my enroller. It's not Rachel Pekarik, my other upline. I knew that I wanted to take 100% responsibility. And this is what I teach people from the get-go. Because I think one of the pitfalls in our industry is that we feel that we need to be led all the time. And so for me, I'm looking for people that need to be able to step up and take even that self-responsibility, which means that, if they own their business, they're going to show up to events. Like I don't have to be pushing people to events. They need to show up to events. It's just part and parcel of what they need to do. So own the process is literally drive your business, be the driver of your business. So you know where you want to go, because if you're not the driver and you're not in control, I don't know, maybe your bus will get stuck. Maybe other people will hop in the bus and they're not the right people. You got to be in control of your destination, own the process. The fourth is your activity management. It's the activity that drives results, the right activity. And so we're making it so simple in our team. We just teach them ITT. The fastest growing team, Martin Wallace's team, they just do ITT. ITT, ITT, ITT. Was before, I would go and present here, present there, present everywhere. Now I use the tools. I've gotten smarter. I don't have time to explain everything to somebody. What I do, I talk to them. If they're open, I'll invite them to a Facebook group. We have 3 videos. I tag them to those videos. And then if they want more, I send them a recording of an overview. Then I get them on a Zoom call or a video call and answer their questions. And that's how we are going to roll in 2022, is literally use the tools to be able to grow our business. Otherwise, what happens is you are in the trenches of having to present all the time. I don't know what you do in your team, but that's what we decided to do. We're going to have 1 presentation a week, and that is after someone has gone through ITT. They can join that. And number 5 is really avoiding the emotional pitfalls. It's like, oh my gosh, we go through this garbage of he said this and she said this and this and that and this and that. I tell my team, in 2022, there's no drama zone. We are here on a mission to build your business, to build everybody's business. Those dramas is costing us time. There are distractions that we don't need. We need to settle them right away. And I think that investing in learning a little bit about emotional intelligence is a good idea. So for me, I'm a fan of YouTube. If I need anything, that's how I found my sponsor. If I found Tara Wilson in YouTube. If I needed to find anything, I just go and search in YouTube. If I can't do anything, I go to YouTube. You know, I'll certainly find something that knows and has a video over there. So it's that emotional intelligence. And that's why I believe that we need to invest in our personal development, because 80% of our success is dependent on our mindset. 20% is skills, I know, but 80%, because it doesn't matter how skillful you are. And I've seen people, they come in, they're so good at closing and presenting and all of that, and they don't last simply because they don't have that tenacity. They don't understand network marketing. They don't understand all these roller coasters that we need to go through to grow, to be able to get there. And that's why, you know, who are the people that are earning? Who are the people that are at the top? These are the people that have learned to be in control of their emotion. It's not always easy, I can tell you. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect either, but I'm more aware. It's like, that's why I post on my Facebook, what people say to me is none of my business. I mean, really, it's not your business what people say about you, and why do you care anyway? You know what I mean? You know where you are going, you know who you are. So you don't need to worry about what other people say and everything. So that's emotional intelligence. So always be in phase one, recruiting. This is what I keep saying to my leaders as we step into 2022, 80%, because you need to bring in the class of 2022, 80% of your time should be spent recruiting, personal recruitment. This is so important that we really need to do our own personal recruiting. So important. Okay, so this is one, it's a great way to really look at where you want to go, is to review this year, because in your back office it will tell you how many personal enrollments have you done, i.e. distributors and customers, and how many of those have stayed and how many of those are growing, and if not, why not, and how you're going to shift that in 2022, because you got to work smarter in 2022. You can't repeat 2021. It's going to be over. That is done. So this 2022 is going to be a different shift. You're going to another direction because you want to take your business to the next level. So that's why now is the time for you to really plan it out. What are those that's distracted me? Why did I not double my recruiting? Why did I not retain those people? Is it because I've not followed them up? Why did these people did not rank advanced, etc.? So it's really a lot of introspection that you need to do in this next few days as we go there. So, and the other is to understand the numbers. Understand the numbers. If you don't know the comp plan, well, it's very hard. You got to understand the numbers so that you can set your goal. You can help people, you know, like really work their numbers. You need to understand the positioning, the structuring, and I'm sure, you know, Talita and Jillian would understand that, how you would position people properly so that you maximize your income. Okay, so that is really, really important. And the other is, I really believe that you need to, in this day and age, you need to find a way to support, like stay connected, because we are in this online space, to stay connected so that you still feel, even though you're online, you are together as a community. So what we do in Team Heart is we have, it's called Connect With Me. So for the last 8 months, we've been doing Connect With Me morning and evening, but we just reviewed it and we decided we're going to do it 3 days a week instead of the 5 days that we've done. So we've just reevaluated, we put together our game plan for 2022, but that particular activity where we do ITT and then at the end we just hang out, ask questions, all of that, it's like really good. We're so close yet we're so far, you know what I mean? It's really bonded us together. So I think what would help you win in 2022 is to make sure that you have a cohesive community. You need to work on that. And the last thing that I want to say is, which I learned from Darren Hardy, the number one value that we should have running this business or as parents is excellence, the value of excellence. So every time we do something, how can we do this better? How can I be better? If I'm recruiting, how can I be better? All the time, because we can be better. Your activity, have a look at it. How can we be better? We're doing this training, how can we be better? We're doing onboarding, how can we be better? So I think, focusing on how to be excellent in 2022 is going to help you win in 2022. So that's it for me, Talita. And just with the Philippines, which Talita has asked me to cover, Philippines is a very, it's a good potential market because most of the people can speak English. If you're building in Mexico, you got to know how to speak in Spanish. In the Philippines, we have a lot of newspapers in English, our TV shows in English. We get taught in the university in English and even in primary school. So most people can understand English. A lot of people there engage in network marketing because people go to school, they finish university, and they get paid $300, $500 a month. So we have a lot of professionals on board because they want better than $300, $500 a month. And with that amount of money, you won't be able to buy a house, let alone have a nice lifestyle and travel. So they see so much opportunity in network marketing. That's why we have so many people that are looking at network marketing. On the other hand, there's been a lot of companies that have fallen over there. So people are a little bit aware of it. So you need to just, for me, I just tell them, why not have a look at LifeVantage? It's different. I'll show you what we have, then you make a decision. So it's a great market to tap into. All right. Do you have any questions?
I would love to quickly open up for questions, but I want to just say first, thank you. And for being real, when we look at leaders, sometimes we put them in a different pedestal. And I think that's the worst thing that we can do, because end of the day, they started where all of us start. So thank you for sharing and being real.
I just had a quick question for you, Josie, with regards to the Philippines market. I know that in the past, when I've listened to you in trainings, and when it came to you building, you've done it mostly through your existing networks and tap rooting, so to speak, just building down through your networks. Did you find that was the case for the Philippines, or have you started with a lot of cold market, just reaching out to people in the Philippines? What's been your strategy for making connections there?
Yeah, it's interesting because, I had in my head my strategy for building, and that was through posting. So I posted a lot about the market and curiosity post. And so I did this curiosity post in July, and I had a photo of my office. I was telling them that I was going to do market expansion, looking for people who want to build 7 people who want to build a 7-figure business. And I literally attracted 7 people. So I did not know these people. I did not cold market. I did not reach out to anybody. Everyone who came into my business this time in the Philippines, they reached out to me. The first elite, he knew me from my previous company. I knew him. We were not even friends on Facebook. We've never spoken before, but she's heard of me. And so he's heard of me, so he reached out to me. Every single person that has reached out to me that are going to be like,
so how did they see your posts if they weren't already a friend of yours, or did you create Facebook ads, or how did they see your posts?
Yeah. So this okay. So because I have invested so much time in my previous company, so I created this Facebook group where it's a cross line, and I wanted to pour in. So I get training, people get training. So I had like 12,000 people there. They're not all my friends, but they I guess they follow me and they see me and all of that. And so I don't know how, but I know that they say, I saw your post or I saw your story and we want to know, what is this company that's going to open? And so I just think for myself that they were led to me, because I think this is the season of my career where all those years that I've given to the industry, that God finally say, well, okay, Josie, I think it's your turn. So those people have been funneled to me because they're meant to be part of my life. That's what I believe, Jillian, is that it's, through that Facebook group where I delivered so much value, people have heard of me, and I was very people knew me from my previous company. People in the Philippines knew me, because I speak at events, I speak at big conventions, so they hear of me. So, but how did they learn of Life Vantage? I don't know, maybe it's meant to be. I think those people came to my life because they're meant to be.
Yeah, I mean, giving value was always key, being a servant, offering all you can, and the right people will come along. So thank you.
Samantha, was your question answered on duplication at all? Did you have anything regarding that at all?
I did not. I really enjoyed the training. Thank you so much, Josie. I think you addressed several things that will be incredibly beneficial to us.
Yeah,
welcome.
Yes.
So Josie, is that your strategy? It's just attraction, like curiosity post. You don't spend much time on building relationships through like direct messaging, or?
Well, it's never been my strategy, to be honest. I was so good at bringing people and taprooting. So I spent a lot of time taprooting. And this time it's just, I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to tell the world what I'm doing. So I was just out there, and so many posts about the opening of the Philippines. So a lot of curiosity posts. And so that's how I've attracted every single person. I sponsored 12 people in the Philippines. I've attracted. So the Smart Start bonus in the Philippines is, so Australia is 40%. So you sponsor a distributor, you get paid 40%. Over in the Philippines, it's similar to Europe. It's 25. So the person who's sponsored gets paid 25. And the first upline gets paid 5%. The second upline gets paid 5%. And the third upline gets paid 5%. So imagine I sponsored 12 people, and they sponsored, so I get 25%. Everyone they sponsor, I get 5%. And the next layer, 25, 5, 5, 5. So my average, the highest Smart Start bonus I've received, like Smart and Launch bonus, you get those, your daily pay was 5,600. And on average, it's like 2.5, 3,000, like that.
Yeah.
Last month, my Smart Start bonus was 21,000. So that is the power of like really building in a country like Europe and Philippines and Asia with a 25,555. But that is direct enroller. So it's got to be your enrollment line. And so all these people that came to my life, these 12 people that came to my life, I've not sent them a single message to say, are you open to taking a look? They were the ones who sent me, and they'd say, what is that company that's about? I really believe that we need to be deliberate in our posting without being so spammy. You know what I mean? You can go through my posts and have a look at how I've done it as well.
Josie, with the Philippines, I would really like to know, do you teach them anything different other than Australians as to launch the businesses? Are you telling them, bring 20 people in front of a meeting, or do you have a specific idea of how that first step into the launch goes for you?
We're teaching them how to do ITT. Because of pandemic, things have changed. In the Philippines, it's belly to belly. So now they see the difference, because the belly to belly means I take you, we meet, I buy you lunch, this and that. They spend money. They don't have that money. The thing about it now is the way we teach ITT, and then we have our overview, they love it, because it means they don't have to worry about traveling and spending that time. but they, you know, like we call it hybrid. There are people that are close by, they still see them. So we teach them not to, you know, we teach them to approach the warm market first. We teach them a lot about ITT. So we have people like, they just tag people. We, the first video that we send them is called the gig economy video. It's a 3-minute video. That's the one that if they're open to taking a look. So we have a YouTube video channel called LV Global. So you can find some of those videos there.
So you do a 3-minute video first, and then that goes into the.
So we have the 3-minute video plus ABC. And if they want to know more, they want to know more, we have a 6-minute video called Feel Better, Do More, 6-minute video. And if they want to know more, we send them an overview. And then we get on a call, 3-way chat, or a Zoom call or a video call. They love the messenger video calls.
Okay, that's a messenger video calls. That's good to know. We have one distributor in the Philippines, and I know this will help him a lot because he's said to us the other day, he's been sending out videos. He's actually started the whole ITT process, but he's getting stuck with the watching video because I think it's the full overview. So we're just gonna bring it back to just the 3-minute in the ABC and see if that will help him.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Okay.
One thing that I would love to just quickly, I don't know how much time you have left. If you have to go, you have to go. But one question I had quickly was Pro 3, foundational rank. Can you just quickly explain to me how you present that to them to focus on how do they actually, what method do you teach them to do the foundational rank Pro 3?
Okay, so I'll say, okay, Talita, what we need to do. So you start your business and we get them through our onboarding process. And in our onboarding process, part of that is the foundation rank. So we show them, there's actually a sketch of how they're gonna get to Pro 2 and Pro 3 and things like that. And so it's part of our onboarding. And so we say to them that what we do here is we build our business. So for example, if they're new, I'd say, so in this business, it's a movement, product movement. So on this side, we bring in customers. So people want to take the products, you bring them on board, you show them, you add them to the Facebook group. The other side is that you're looking for people who are looking for options. They might want to earn $100 a month or whatever it is. There are some people who want to have a side business, side hustle. And so that's how we market the product. If there's no products that you move in your organization, you don't get paid. And so what we do first is to look at your warm market, and you go through ITT. We used to do like launches and everything. We haven't done that. You would go through ITT so that you start your earning commission and you get your money back. And how do we do that? So we have the drawing already that's on our launch guide. So what happens, you bring in mom or dad and this and that. So we help them to recruit and show them how they can get to Pro 3. We're very fast because we get people on, most of them are platinum. Then we have gold. So we're very fast. Like we show them how to get their money back. And I say to them, look, it's a business. I don't know, how much would it cost for you to set up your own business? It will probably cost you $100,000, $200,000, $300,000. Here, it's the same thing. You have a business. And so, because if somebody starts on a silver, I just find there's not enough skin in the game. So I always say, look, this is how much it costs. And I don't blink my eyes when I say platinum. This is how much it will cost you. It's $1,600, $1,699, it's $1,700. So much cheaper than owning some kind of traditional business. You don't need to worry about stock. Everything is done for you by the company. And you have all these products to take, all these products that you can on-sell to people that don't want to have an account. So it's no brainer. Now you have a business where you don't have to figure it out because we've got it all figured out. All I want you to do is to plug into the system. So that's how I do it.
Do you use Team Heart's onboarding system, or have you created your own?
Oh, we have Team Heart onboarding.
You have the Team Heart onboarding.
Yeah.
And the images for Pro 2 and Pro 3, is that the ones that I see floating around everywhere? I think on the Team Heart website or on Charlotte Venter's website as well. They have like the Pro 2
Yeah.
and just that's
Yeah.
just what you show them.
Yeah.
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 Okay. And I'm sorry, these are just things that I always ask the elite leaders, and each of them do it a bit differently, because I know that I want to learn and be an elite. So I've got to know what do elites do differently. How do you find your weekly calls? Do you run a personal call for just your team, or do you just have the set calls that all Team Heart has and you expect them to plug into that, and then you have the Connect with Me groups that are more in-depth conversations?
We've streamlined everything now. We have one
Yeah.
call for Europe, one call for US, and one call for Australasia, which is basically Australia, New Zealand.
Yeah.
So we have got that. And so I told them we need to get back to the basics. Just
Yeah.
trying to look for my notes here. Rachel, can you find my iPad? So what we have done is I told them we just need to go back to the basics, which is teaching people. What do we do in LifeVantage? How do I bring in customer? How do I bring in distributor? Well, I need to find people, the right people. Then I need to invite them, take them through ITT. Then I follow them up. Then I show them how to get started. Rinse and repeat. That's all I need to do. You know what I mean? So then if that is the job description, then I need to teach people. I need to teach Tessa how to invite properly. I need to teach her how to get people into the group. You know, like all this, the basics, instead of all these so many trainings that we used to do before. It's like, oh, we just made it so simple, just the basics. I just want to teach them that. I want them to get customers, become successful in becoming customers. If they have the right mindset to be distributors, then that's great. But if I can teach people to have customers so that they pay for the products, I think that's a win.
Absolutely. You're right. That's really great. I think that's exactly where we're looking to go next year as well. Is simplifying things. I mean, end of the day is we're going to level, whether we have the current team, and I know these girls on this call, and I know a lot of the girls who are not on this call can't make it, but they're also keen to level up their businesses. And for that to happen, we just, what is it, rinse and repeat, teach the basics and do it over and over.
So what we decided to do, so we have Monday nights. We're going to rinse and repeat mindset, inviting, following up, retention, explain about subscription, handling objections, ITT. And then what we did was we allocated. We already know what we're doing on January 10, goals and 2022 update. We know what we're doing on the 17th, which is inviting, 24 follow up, 31st is products. Then we have a monthly calendar. We used to do weekly, which is a pain in the butt. So this time we're just gonna have that, and anybody who's presenting, they do their own flyer. So unlike before, like, oh my gosh, now we're all leaders, we're gonna have to take responsibility for that. And we reduce our ITT because we're all doing the 90-day challenge. So we're gonna do ITT Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, morning and evening, and then we do one overview a week. That's what we're going to do. And we've already allocated all our overviews for January, which is fantastic. And that's what we need to do. But what primarily is for us to develop a lot of Pro 4s. Because when they get to Pro 4, we have a mastermind. It's a leadership mastermind. We plug them into Rachel. Oh my gosh. The mindset, the skills, the leadership of the people that are there is very different from January to now.
Is there a way that we can ask, because I was actually going to ask Charlotte, but I can probably just ask you. We were going to ask if there's a way we can pay to be a part of that training or something. I don't know if Rachel would even look at opening it up to anyone else.
No, I don't think so. Yeah. There's actually somebody who, somebody reported someone has been added by Charlotte. So they've kicked her out because, I mean,
Okay.
Charlotte runs her own. She's very open, but I know Rachel wouldn't do it.
No, that's what I'm saying is Rachel. Yeah, okay. That's all right. We're learning a lot from everyone. I don't think we'll be fine. All right. So that's the Pro 4, I guess, then that levels them up into the next part of the leadership, which is, I guess, where you want them to be creating Pro 3s, and then that will develop into Pro 4, 5s and 6s and all the rest.
Because from Pro 4, they learn to get to Pro 5. And then, of course, you know, all that expectations when they start to rank advance and everything. So I think, you know, what we have in Team Heart, it's, you know, I have to be grateful to Rachel because she's so amazing.
Yeah, definitely. You chose the right team, Josie. But then you've brought your own set of skills and knowledge, which has really developed that team further, I think, as well.
Mm, yeah.
Thank you so much for your time.
You're
Really
welcome.
appreciate it.
Yeah, all the best to each and every one of you. It's really, there's no secret. The secret is doing the work and
Thank
staying
you.
resilient. Because there's going to be a
Absolutely.
lot of things that would stop you, but don't let it happen.
Thanks
Focus
so
on.
much, Josie.
You're welcome. So Jillian and Talita, I want to see you both elites this year.
We're gonna do it if it
So do we.
kills us. No, I'm not gonna get
This is,
killed.
you're gonna be more aggressive with your
Yeah.
marketing.
No, well, I have confidence in the team that we have. These beautiful girls, Katie and Samantha and Beth and Tessa, all are committing to big runs this year. I know they're all on a different journey each, but each have their own goals, and their drive is encouraging me to keep going. So we're gonna make it.
You can create something that is significant, but you need to see that first.
Yeah.
You need to see it first. I have someone having a chat with me like yesterday, and she goes, if I, because she was Pro 5 last month, and then she goes, if I'm not Pro 5 this month, can I have this an option? I said, well, you already said you're not Pro 5. You know, so it's all about that language that we say to ourselves.
Samantha's looking at us. She coaches us on language a lot. We're always
great,
being pulled up.
Samantha. Wonderful.
Yeah.
All right then, everybody. So
Thank you.
yeah, so honored really with your invite. So Talita and Julian, they're amazing leaders. They pour into their team and the community, and I know that they have all the knowledge and all the skills to take this group here, you know, to Pro 5 and beyond. And it's going to be an amazing journey. Life Vantage is a great company. There's so many incentives and promotions that's going to be coming up. And we all need to go to Croatia. Who here wants to go to Croatia? We all need to go to Croatia, right? Make it happen.
A lot of ladies here going to Croatia. Their points are right up there, Josie.
Yeah, sure. Make it happen to go to Croatia. And it's all that. And it's not like, don't look at 250 points. It's look at bringing points every single month.
Yeah.
And having that second order.
Yeah. Second order and our customers are huge.
All right.
Well, thank you. Thanks for your
You're
time,
welcome.
Josie. Really
right.
appreciate it.
You're welcome. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.